I'm JQ.
I'm Greta.
I'm Lori.
Michelle.
I'm TQ.
We're the Q brothers with the pregnant ladies, and this is Smallflower TV.
Alright, just a normal Tuesday morning, hanging out on my couch with three beautiful pregnant women. You know, right, Jay?
The huge.
Yeah. We have
Well,
been...
for me right now, it is the huge, actually.
Yes.
Constantly hanging out with the pregnant lady.
Yes. That's Jeffrey's wife, JQ's wife, Greta. And we've got two other MERS managers here. And we've been talking about the fact that this year at MERS Apothecary, our store, this is sort of the, we've had our own baby boom happening. I think there are 5 babies. 1 has already been born this year, and 4 more on the way among the staff and relatives of the store. You know? So it's pretty great. So, and given the amount of pregnant women we see coming in the store and writing it on the site, we thought it would be appropriate to do a pregnancy series of videos. Mm-hmm. Right?
So I think the first one we'd like to look at is like the stuff you guys are just taking on an everyday basis. I mean, want to just start running down the line? Like, what do you...
Yeah, why don't we, let's just, Lori, talk about what's the basic? What do people need to take? Give us some...
Alright, bare bones, if you're going to take 3 things, I guess you could say, it would be these. So, a fish oil.
Yes.
A must. A multivitamin.
Prenatal.
And iron. Because most other things you can sort of get through eating well, like you should be doing anyway. But these are 3 things that are important to take and sort of help throughout the whole pregnancy and afterwards as well, which is an important part, obviously, as well. You're going to be breastfeeding and whatnot.
So we should mention that like this is a food-based liquid iron supplement, so it won't be won't stopping you up.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's already an issue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which we'll get to in the next. The next video on symptoms to be dealt with in pregnancy, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's right. I mean,
like let's talk for a second. So this is the nice thing about this prenatal is that they, as opposed to the normal new chapter, they made them smaller because nausea seems to be a problem. So they're easier, and you can even break them in half if it's really difficult to swallow pills. And it's 3 of these little ones a day. It's actually really easy. I take the same one. Most of the guys at New
Jake's hoping to get pregnant soon.
I am. It's actually for pregnant ladies. So no, most of the guys who work at New Chapter actually take this because it's actually their most complete vitamin anyway.
Yeah, and there's nothing in it that's specific only to women.
No, the things that would help balance women's hormones are also going to help men. So that's great. The fish oil, I mean, that's a 2 a day if you're just a normal person. How many do you take?
4 or 5.
Yeah.
Yes, I do 2.
My wife Rachel took 4 every day during her pregnancy, and I have really smart kids, so I think something worked.
Yeah. She walked into my bedroom the other day and goes, "This is modern."
Stephanie said that?
But the idea being, the body is smart enough that we all have stores of good fatty acids and good fats in our body, and the human body's smart enough that when a woman is pregnant, it's going to give your body stores to the baby because they're so necessary for brain development, skin, all the different, so many different aspects of human development. And that's great because you're going to have a healthy baby, but you might not have enough, first of all, for the kind of healthy baby that we all intend to make.
And there's not enough left for you.
And exactly. And that continues during breastfeeding. So once the baby's born, you're still going to be giving that. And then you're talking about giving the thing that supports your own brain health, your own skin health, all these other issues. I mean, there's heart health. There's so many issues that are around good fats that you want to make sure you have enough for your baby and enough for yourself after you're done with, with nursing and the whole child rearing process, because you might want to have another kid. And even if you don't, you still are looking forward to a long, heart healthy, skin healthy,
And there's a
brain
lot of
healthy
people.
life.
There's a lot of people that say that that they can attribute a lot of postpartum sort of symptoms to the fact that you've been drained of all your omega-3s. And fats are brain food. That's what makes you happy. That's what gets you through your day. That's everything. You know,
Absolutely.
you need to have fat. So this no 90s, no fat.
No.
Yes, you know.
Lots of fat.
Yeah.
And that cuts out the concern as well for heavy metals. All these companies test their fish oils, so if you want to eat fish in your diet, it's great, but then there's always the concern that mercury and all these things, and that's not even an issue.
So we've
and whatever you brand, we're picking some of the ones just for room's sake, our favorites and what people are using, but in general, take a fish oil because they're all pretty darn clean in the tests that they've done. And so better to take a fish oil than be loading up on tons of fish. And even if you're eating fish, make sure you're taking enough fish oil anyway, because you can't eat enough. So we got that.
So those three, let's also look to, let's kind of...
Iron is energy and just good.
And blood.
Your blood increases by what, like
so much more
1,000?
blood.
Yeah, so I want to talk for a second about iodine. This is a book by David Brownstein, Iodine, You Need It, Why You Need It, Why You Can't Live Without It. I'm a big fan of this book, and one of the things he talks about is the fact that aside from iodine, which you need in your thyroid, iodine is also hugely necessary for breast health and prostate health, which I think there's not a person out there who probably doesn't know someone with issues with both of those. On top of that, he talks about the fact that iodine is perhaps the #1 deficiency related to abnormalities or birth defects or other preventable birth defects is what he called them. So I think if you look at our diet compared to an iodine-rich diets like Japan and other places where they live near the sea and their soil is rich in iodine, we get an infinitesimal amount, even with what we consider to be the recommended daily allowance. So his point is, let's look at iodine in a objective, open way and talk about whether we should be doing this, especially for women with breast health and pregnancy being such large
And ultimately,
issues.
he thinks we should kick it up a notch, and we agree, you know?
Yeah. So it's something, again, we're not in a position to tell you what to take, so obviously if you're thinking about these things, talk to your doctor. Our thing is just to give you some
But a lot of doctors don't know about this.
Yeah.
This is like vitamin D was 5 years ago. And so our doctor is now like on board with it, but she kind of had to like do some research and check.
Well, and that's why I say get the book and read it, and then if your doctor doesn't know, give them the book and say, hey, I'd like you to consider this and see what you're thinking. So I think it makes a lot of sense. These are 2 forms of iodine. Iodoral, which is the combination form he talks about in the book, and this is Nascent iodine, which is a molecular form, which is easier to take because only a few drops, but I think arguably the more complete iodine is this one, which is potassium iodide and iodine together. So
let's
something to consider.
What else we got here? What is this, bioplasma? You've been taking this?
Yes.
So tell me why.
Well, it's a combination, it's a homeopathic combination of the 12 cell salts. And basically it's used to balance the body and the electrolytes in the body, and for skin, muscle, bone, teeth, kind of everything health. And so I just take it to sort of balance this.
Where did you hear about it?
All of it.
Where did you hear about this?
Well, this is sort of embarrassing and it's sort of blowing up my spot, but on Goop, Gwyneth Paltrow's website, she had this book called The Gentle Birth Method, which was written by an Indian doctor. And in India, homeopathy is huge, so this is one of the recommendations.
Nice.
And I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
I'm a big fan of bioplasma in general when you're feeling out of sorts. So, you know, I think it makes sense.
What do we got left?
I wish I'd known about that, actually.
Yeah,
It's not too late, Greta.
I
You got 6 weeks.
I got 6 weeks.
The last one is what? Nettle and raspberry tea. This is
Raspberry leaf, let's talk about that because that's sort of a huge uterine tonic, correct? Have you guys been taking that?
I have not yet.
Paulie, we also brought Michelle on, she's been quiet, just to shame her into start taking more of these things.
No, but that's actually used for what? People use it to
for fertility.
For fertility.
Boost fertility, but then you can use it
post. They use it, and our doulas recommended nettle and raspberry leaves together from 30 weeks on to drink a couple cups a day.
And don't they also say that like towards the end, you know, if you want to, as an alternative to induction, if you need to speed things up, that's a good way of getting things going. Not that any of us want.
Yeah, no, you want to bake those kids for just the right amount of time. I think so.
But it just gets everything sort of ready.
Yeah. So that's the round one of pregnant ladies, I guess we call them.
Yeah.
So we've got, you know, in 6 weeks, maybe we'll bring the baby back on and do a baby episode. And you know, thankfully Lori and Michelle decided to have babies right before the holidays. We're really happy about that. So maybe we'll do a holiday baby episode.
We'll tie them all up like gifts.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on Smallflower TV.
Adios.